I'm sure you guys remember that I have a little bit of a bone to pick with Chinese Xiaomi or Millet company who made this, in my opinion, fake, dirty, disgusting knockoff thief copy of the Porsche Taycan, right? Mm-hmm. You know that thing.
I do.
We've talked about it a couple times.
Yes.
What do you think about that car?
I don't know. I haven't driven one, but I don't like it. I don't like really any Chinese EV, to be honest. I haven't seen one that has any semblance of, in my opinion, what quality is in a car. I don't think they would pass safety standards in America. Mm-hmm. I just haven't seen any evidence of that yet.
Yeah, and I've never seen evidence of an actual original design. They're all copied from something else. Mm-hmm. They all have the styling elements of something else.
Very liberal inspiration.
Yes, very liberal, inspiration. So, as this thing is now about 3 weeks old since its release, it's been out for about 3 weeks, things are starting to come apart at the seams. I wanted to show you guys, there's a very common flaw on these right now, is that the paneling's coming off.
然后轻轻一口就掉出来了，太夸张了。
You can see it flapping in the breeze over there. It's a very common fault. So basically the paneling, the front fenders come off.
People on the Chinese internet have been posting these.
Yeah, of course.
They're sad. Crying.
I mean, look, they're disappointed. Wouldn't you be?
Of course.
然后这一次超声波，这一次超声波。
You'll be able to see in a second why. See, well, you'll see here when he takes
It's a feature, not a bug.
It's a feature, yeah, sure.
Weight reduction.
So the way you can see it's connected, it's kind of heat bonded to to the outside, but those bonds are so poor and weak. Look at how they just come apart. So you can imagine this is going to be an issue on all of the models, like all of the cars. Here's just a dude. Actually, I'll get us out of here. Dude driving and a random Xiaomi appears. Yes.
That's obviously just a bad driver.
That's the thing is I don't think it is a bad driver. We've seen that these things have been going off the road a lot lately. And I think a lot of people are relying on their self-driving and all that.
That's still bad driving to me.
Yeah.
It's 100% the fault of the person.
Sure.
You should never, ever be in a situation where you're relying on that.
The problem is these are supposed to be all fancy with automatic braking and all that kind of stuff,
I mean, I'm just saying that Tesla thing that happened the other day, right?
Yeah. Well, here's a guy crashed into a bus stop, for instance. Yeah.
But you got to be in control of your car.
Yes,
It doesn't matter what you're driving. You cannot just be like, oh, I'm going to turn off now.
Of course not. Of course not. Anyway, the fact of the matter is we're seeing a lot of accidents with these, which is very, very weird considering it's a brand new car.
Yeah.
When a brand new car is released within 3 weeks, do you see so many accidents? Normally not.
Not usually, no.
Not normally. So yeah, they've
at least what we've been seeing coming out from China.
Yeah, a lot of quality issues. These things are a problem.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's to be expected if it's, in my opinion, just a basic copy knockoff of something else, and they just throw it together. And also, it's a phone company, so they're not really very good at. Well, they haven't had the experience with cars.
Not yet.
So the reason I keep showing this to you guys, and the reason I'm hammering this out, is because I was appalled by the automotive press when this thing was released. They were singing the praises of this thing. Well,
it's pretty obvious what's going on.
Yeah.
You know how the world works, right?
Yeah, but I'm just sick and tired of this. You can't go out there and say, look at this amazing, stylish, great,
Bro, they
cool
do
car.
This with everything. Anything that they pay for it, when something's probably not as good not as good as what's to be expected.
Yeah.
You pay for a shit ton.
Advertising.
That's just how it is.
I get it, but the thing is, I don't want people to be duped because a lot of people, especially in the developing world and places like South Africa, where I'm originally from, which is the developing world. In fact, it's gone backwards, so it's even pre-development, if that's even a thing.
Interesting.
Stone Age world. Okay.
You're going to have to start developing soon.
Yeah, it'll be like, we've just discovered fire in a minute.
Lost cities.
Yeah, exactly. So all those parts of the world, they're being flooded now with Chinese EVs. And you might be very tempted to say, hey, it's cheap. It's got all these features. I'll buy it. But just remember, this one, with all this fanfare, is one of the darling cars that's come out. It's supposed to be kind of top of the line.
Sure.
Right? Supposed to compete with Porsche by copying them. And look at all the faults,
your opinion.
in my opinion. And look at all the faults that are coming out. Look at all the accidents that are happening. Look at the fact that the airbags haven't deployed on many
Actually,
of
there's a good
Yep.
thing here. Just the way to cap this up. Chrisane says, "Tell me the last time you saw an automotive magazine give a car less than 8 out of 10." There's
Yeah.
just wild reviews all the time now, and you can see what's going on.
Absolutely. So just be wary and don't put your family in jeopardy by getting something like this, if you have a choice.
I would say that for any Chinese car, to be honest. Yeah.
And I owned a Chinese car.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was
very
terrible.
bad.
Terrible. I owned it for like 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So
It was
terrible.
horrific.
Yeah, it kept falling about. Like the gear shit. Anyway, I've talked about it. It's really bad.
She's saying Mimi was a cat. She's calling a cat.
What's this? They're like, oh, look at the sunset.
Yeah, she's like, sunset.
That looks like a dog or something.
Yeah, it's supposed to
But
look
it's
like
like
a
his
dog.
wife.
Oh,
Whoops.
Two bosses had stille out einer Hund, Kuschos.
He's supposed to be Chinese, but he knows a Japanese martial arts, but he's not Chinese or Japanese.
Right.
And what's even better is if you translate the lyrics. It's like, tell me, are you scared? Na 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 na.
Close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs.